Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Arali and today I want to talk about the Echovald Forest. So recently I made a video about Shing Jea Island, and in that video I used a lot of the landmarks to kind of guide my video and stuff. Now I did want to do the same thing for the Echovald Forest. The only problem is that there is not a lot of landmarks. Not a lot of things are actually named. There's not like signposts around and stuff like that. There's just the areas, the explorable areas and the outposts, and there's a couple of landmarks and stuff. So what I've decided to do is talk up front a little bit about the important parts of the Echovald Forest, a lot of the landmarks that are there, a little bit of the history and stuff. At the end of the video, I'll just add on this pretty much montage of just footage of the Echovald Forest with the names of the different areas. I'll talk about the description of the outposts and stuff. I'll put them up on screen and you guys can read those and kind of just show you guys how the Echovald Forest looked in Guild Wars 1. Let's get right into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is the history. So originally the Echovald Forest was this massive forest that was teeming with life, and that ended when the Jade Wind happened, which happened when Shiro Tagachi was killed. He released this energy shockwave that went throughout Kantha and turned the sea into jade and the forest into stone. So now we have the stone forest, and there's still some life in the forest, and a lot of it over the years has come back now. So we see a lot of like ferns and like mossy type stuff and mushrooms, stuff that would survive in like harsher climates and rockier climates and stuff. So they kind of are portraying that the forest is trying to hold on and trying to survive underneath the rock, or you know, trying to break through or whatever. So, and in Guild Wars 2 we have seen the preview video of it. It looks like it's kind of getting there, so which is super interesting. But that's pretty much all we know of it. There's not much more that we know of it. Of course, I've had my theory about Urgaz and the Wardens and stuff like that. You guys can watch that video if you would like to. But yeah, pretty much history-wise, there's not much we know about. We know that the Kurziks live there. We know that in Guild Wars 2 they're not there anymore. The descendants are there trying to like do archaeological dig sites and so on and so forth. But other than that, we haven't really seen the Kurziks and stuff, and there's a lot of different factions now and so on. And I don't think that they're gonna play a major role, but I still want to talk about them a little bit. So the next thing I want to do is talk about the landmarks, and there's only a few of them, but I think that some of them are fairly important. We should talk about them. So the first thing is the Cathedral zu Heltzer, which is this massive cathedral that is in the middle of Arborstone. And originally, before Arborstone was named, the family, the House zu Heltzer, who is one of the big noble families of the Kurziks, wanted to name the whole area the Cathedral zu Heltzer, but apparently the rest of the Kurziks were not okay with that, so they ended up just calling it Arborstone. But it is still this massive cathedral, and you get to go through it. The interesting part about it is that it's not really like a building inside. In Guild Wars 1, we didn't get to see in a lot of buildings. We didn't get to see beds and tables and chairs. Like, a lot of those things didn't exist. That wasn't stuff that we could see. But this is one of those buildings that we do get to see a lot of stuff, which is really cool. I really like that. And we don't get to see like beds and stuff like that, but they still give you the feeling of like you're inside, because there's like staircases and chandeliers and stuff, but everything is overrun with monsters. So it has this like cool little garden on the side. You know, guys will see that in the footage in the background. There's a little garden with hedges and a little well. One of the most interesting things for me, which is the little room in the back, which is almost like a ritual room. It looks like someone would do like sacrifices in there or something like that. It's really strange, not sure, but yeah, that's pretty much the the whole area is pretty much just giant cathedrals. Really cool, and that's kind of your intro to the Echovald Forest for the most part. Then another one is the Forever Trees. So those are these trees that the Kurziks sing to in order to transform people into juggernauts. So they take these like quote unquote sacrifices, these tributes. People sacrifice themselves, they say goodbye to their family in order to become these like hulking green juggernauts that are like planty almost, and the Kurziks use them to fight the siege turtles of the Luxons. And it's interesting because they kind of lose themselves, like they become just these juggernauts, and they like, I feel like their soul is just imbued in there, but they're not the same people anymore, I think. So interesting, maybe we'll see that come back in some shape or form, because we are talking about like restoring the forest back to its former glory and so on and so forth. So maybe we'll see that, not sure. Another interesting landmark in the Echovald Forest is God's Vengeance. Ruins, which is a weapon that's created by the Kurziks, and it's part of the Fort Aspenwood competitive mission that they have there. I won't have any footage of it, but I'll put the picture up. It looks like this giant music box that they're creating, again kind of going with the music theme of the Kurziks, I think, which we'll talk about the forever trees and stuff. But yeah, it's really interesting to see that. Not sure if anything ever came of it, and we don't really know what it does. It's just described to combine the elements of all 5 Kurziks houses to protect the amber deposits nearby. So not sure what it really does or if they ever used it, but maybe we'll get a callback to that. The next thing I want to talk about is the Temple of the Dredge. Now the Temple of the Dredge is in Ferndale, one of the explorable areas, and it's just a small little circular structure that is named after, or they named it the Temple of the Dredge, but the Dredge didn't actually make it. No one really knows where it comes from, but they call it the Temple of the Dredge because there's a side quest where the Dredge try to make that their new home. And as soon as they do that, the wardens of the forest, who are protectors of the forest, actually come and chase them away. And then the quest is to go back there and pretty much beat up those wardens and tell them to get out so that the Dredge can live there. And it's just interesting because the wardens are protectors of the forest. So it seems to me that there's some kind of significance to that temple, that it maybe has some kind of significance as to maybe the origin of the forest, or maybe something that people used to, like maybe there was some kind of rituals they used to make there or something. I don't know. I would love to see it come back in some shape or form. And then another thing is, I don't know how important this is going to be, but it's the Mourning Vale Falls, and there's a whole explorable area that's named after them, but it's this part of the forest, it's the southern part of the forest that has this like river. I think it's even like 2 rivers that are like intertwining. They kind of run through the bottom of that map, and one part of that is actually called the Mourning Vale Falls. Now, those themselves aren't interesting, but it's just really cool because they're kind of mysterious, and there's this like fog that's sitting over this river and stuff. But other than that, that's pretty much it. There's not a lot of other landmarks around and stuff. So not exactly sure if there's anything else that's really important, but like I said, I will have this video in the background for you guys. You guys can watch it and let me know what you guys think. It's just really cool to kind of go back. I really enjoyed the stream that they had, so kind of wanted to showcase the Echovald Forest, how it looked, because a lot of the areas do have like a different feel to them, because some of the areas are very green and then some of them are very rocky and some of them are very dark and stuff. So it's just really cool to kind of see the different areas, and it's very big, and it looks like in Guild Wars 2 it's going to be very big as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want me to make other videos, let me know. I will definitely probably make the other 2 areas as well, the Jade Sea and Kaineng City. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Enjoy!